Hey everybody, it's Jack and Dan. Today we're going to go over two of our favorite pizza recipes. These are two perfectly plant-based pizza recipes. One of them is going to be a buffalo chicken ranch pizza, and one of them is going to be like a pesto type of pizza. Whenever we make food, we figure, hey, why not make a bunch and have leftovers? So we're going to show you two of our favorite recipes. Jack's going to take over here. And first of all, if you're ever cooking anything, if you're making pizza, you got to start with a great crust or a great dough. This is one of our favorites. You know, we always talk about Bob's Red Mill. This is a gluten-free pizza crust. This is really fantastic stuff. What he's got going on here is a brown rice flour. He uses some millet, sorghum, tapioca, and really it's pretty awesome. It has a decent amount of sodium, like most flours will when you're making something like this. But again, not something we do all the time, and we're not going to eat a whole pizza or anything. We're going to have a few slices. We're going to have enough for the whole family. We're going to have some leftovers. So first thing we want to do is we're going to make this dough from scratch. It's not that hard. You get 1.5 cups of warm water. We already have 2 bowls and 2 things of water ready to go here. So we're just going to pour that in here. Just kind of get things going. And then what you want to do is when you open this, you're going to find a little thing of yeast. Okay? So you're going to take the little thing of yeast out. And there it is. It's going to have a little flour in it there. And knock off some of that extra flour there. So here's your yeast. And we're basically going to just open this up. And it's going to go in this water and it's going to soak for about 5 minutes. Okay? And get the other one out of here. And while that's soaked, you gotta stir it up a little bit, kind of make sure it gets activated and all that. Make sure it's all in the water there. Let me find the other packet. Here it is. And when this is going on, just shake some of that off of there. When this is going on and we're waiting for the 5 minutes, we're gonna grind some flaxseed here real quick, because we actually ran out of ground flaxseed. We only have whole flaxseed. And what you want to do is, you'll notice right on here, actually one of the things we love about Bob's Red Mill, they talk about this a lot. If you want to make this way healthier, the option to replace the eggs is 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal with 6 tablespoons of water in replacement of an egg. Why would we want to replace an egg with ground flaxseed? Well, no cholesterol, hardly any saturated fat at all, tons of protein, and tons of omega-3s. If I look at a flaxseed, 2 tablespoons actually has 6 grams of protein. That's the same as the amount an egg has. So if I'm adding flaxseed as a bonding agent and to add some fiber, which is going to add even more fiber and protein in my pizza crust, make it more healthy, I'm removing all the cholesterol and saturated fat. But again, we only have them whole. We have some organic flaxseed here. If you've never ground flaxseed, it's super easy. Just going to kind of stir this a little bit, make sure it's all under the water, make sure it's all kind of getting activated here.
Is that a batter, basically?
No, this is, yeah, but this is just the yeast. It's going to help it rise and make the pizza crust awesome. We're going to take these flaxseed and we're going to pour them in here. And you could just do like a cup or 2 at a time. If you've never ground flaxseed before, it's really easy to do. You could do it in a blender, a coffee grinder, whatever. You don't really need anything fancy. But, yeah, you want to throw the lid on so it doesn't go crazy and shoot everywhere. And, yeah, you just hit it, and you'll see that it'll grind up really easily. Okay, so after about a minute here, we now have fresh ground flaxseed. So we're going to take 2 tablespoons. We've already got 6 tablespoons of some warm water here. Nothing like hot or anything, just some warm water. And we're going to just put those in there. And we'll just, we're kind of just doing this as our yeast was rising. This is really awesome. You take like a fork. And you can see here the way this works is it immediately kind of starts to gel up. And we did a We did a chia seeds are the same way, lots of fiber and protein and fat, but flax seeds little bit healthier.
They smell like oatmeal.
Yeah, they have an oatmeal kind of smell. So this is going to take the place of the egg. Way healthier. No cholesterol, hardly any saturated fat, lots of omega-3 fats, and it's going to taste very similar.
It looks like it has the same texture as an egg, so.
Right, and you'll see it'll just get thicker and thicker and thicker here. So as that's kind of solidifying there, we're going to let that sit. So there's going to be egg for one batch, egg for another batch. The yeast is going. It's been about 5 minutes now. We're just going to kind of
thicken up.
Yeah, we're just going to kind of make sure this is all cool here. And you can actually take this extra flaxseed, toss that in like a Ziploc bag, and you can put that in the fridge. You can save that for some oatmeal, or you can use it for like a smoothie or whatever you want, or if you're baking something else down the road.
Or if you want to use this pizza recipe again.
Or if I want to make pizza next week or whatever, sure. So then we're just going to take our flour, and it says, you dump the flour in. We already did the yeast. We already got the eggs ready, and it says to use olive oil. But here's the thing. We don't really use olive oil because it's not as healthy as flaxseed oil. We like flaxseed oil for things. Flaxseed oil has a little bit less saturated fat, plus a whole lot of omega-3s. We got this. I mean, this is a non-GMO organic flaxseed oil and 7,100 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid. So super awesome. Really easy to use.
Tastes like olive oil, so there's no difference.
Yeah, you can find that lots of places. I think it actually tastes a lot better. You can use it for salad dressing, things like that. But that's going to help a lot too. So what we're going to do is, the yeast is ready to go. We're going to put our flours in here. That's one. We're making 2 pizzas, so we're just doing 2 batches. By the way, this is relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any different than regular flour.
No, it's just made from grains that don't have gluten. So it's gonna be high protein. It's got some fiber, and it's not gonna have any gluten in it. So we take that, and then we're gonna take the oil. It's, I think, 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons in each one. And again, this really doesn't take much prep time at all. 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So now, as you can see, our flax seeds really looking very gelatinous, kind of like an egg. So if I were to add 2 eggs, or if I were to add this, way healthier. And so that's ready. So we're going to add that. See how that works? The only difference is it's way healthier, but it's going to work very similarly to how
So that's
an egg
the
is going
whole
to
batter, basically.
That's everything. So now we're just going to mix it up. Okay, so we worked on this. We got it all mixed up. Jack did one, I did the other one. Only took a couple minutes. And then it basically says cover it up. We got these cool little, Miranda got these cool little silicone covers. These were pretty neat too. Instead of using saran wrap all the time, you can use something like this.
It's reusable.
It's reusable. You can throw it in the dishwasher, all that stuff. So we're going to cover these up, and you can like give it air or not give it air. There's like a burping type of button there. So we're going to cover these up, and then they're supposed to rise for like 20 or 30 minutes. And so we're going to get some of the other stuff ready while those are kind of rising. And again, this is one of our favorites. We love Bob Red's Mill. People say, oh, it's a gluten-free is expensive, and healthy stuff's expensive,
Really not expensive.
and vegan stuff's expensive. These were 2 for $5 at Mark's, guys. We got 2 for $5, and so there's $5 right there for the crust. I mean, we've got some flaxseed sitting around the house. That was hardly anything. We had some oil sitting around the house. The toppings, maybe if they're $10 each at the most, or $10 total. Even if they were $15, that'd be $20. That'd be $10 a pizza. If you got, some cheap, disgusting pizza, it would be $6 or $7 anyway. And if you had it delivered to your house, it'd be $10. So for you know, for the same amount of price or less, you can make a pizza at home for way healthier. So we're going to show you how to do this kind of stuff. We're going to let these guys rise for a minute, and we're just going to show you how we do this. We're going to cook them on a stone. We do have the pizza stones. These are awesome if you haven't used stones. They work really, really well. And we're going to kind of show you how we do this. So be back in a few minutes after this stuff rises. Let it rise a little bit. We're going to take it out. One thing you have to remember about this, guys, this gluten-free, it's nice and spongy and it rose up a little bit. This gluten-free dough has a tendency to be quite sticky. So,
we're going to do the best we can.
Right, well, I'm going to show you little tricks that I've learned over the years. And this works good with other dough, too.
You used to work at a pizza place, right?
I did. All through high school and college, yes. So one of the things you could do is you could see we already did one. We're going to do the other one. Is take a little piece of saran wrap, and you can see this works pretty well. And this will stop the
stickage.
Right, the stickage. And this will help you to kind of roll things out a little bit. And you can see there it works pretty well. Just kind of roll it this way a little bit. And then you can take it off. And the other way. And you can roll the other way a little bit. Okay? So basically you're going to do this. You're going to get it as good as you can by kind of rolling it down, kind of fill the whole stone or pan. You know, again, you can use a pan if you don't have stones. We really like the stones. You want to get it pretty even. You can go back the other way again. And you could probably use flour, or you could put some oil on the, you know, the pin or something like that. But this is really pretty easy, and you just kind of even things out that way. And that's about it. So we have our oven heating up here. We're going to kind of clean this up a little bit, make sure it's all even. We're going to pop them in the oven. It says to cook them for about 7 minutes. And then we're going to get some of the toppings ready, and then we're going to take it back out. And then after that, we're going to put it back in and cook it for a little longer, about an additional 15 to 20 minutes. So the reason that you do this is you don't want the dough to get raw if you have a lot of toppings. So we're going to throw this in and get some toppings ready, and then we'll be back in a second. All right, guys, so it's been a few minutes. We've got the crust done. As you can see, this is a little more firm now. It's nice and thick. It's looking real good. Those are going to be awesome. So those went, I did a little extra, couple extra minutes just because we were doing two at one. I did about 9 or 10 minutes. Now we're going to talk about toppings, the best part, right? So the first thing we're going to do is our buffalo chicken pizza. So what we did here is, instead of chicken, obviously we're going to use tofu. We cut it up. This is just our regular Trader Joe's extra firm tofu that we use. We took, of course,
just diced it up.
Yeah, diced it up real small. We took our high omega vegan ranch for Follow Your Heart. We love this stuff. There are lots of vegan ranches out there these days. This one's awesome because,
tastes
again,
better than regular ranch in my opinion.
Yeah, very little saturated fat, no cholesterol. It's going to be way healthier, and it's made with flaxseed oil, so lots of omega-3s. Really good stuff. $4 a bottle. About, you can find it different prices, different places. So we took that along with a little of Texas Pete's hot sauce to make like a buffalo sauce. I didn't make it super strong. I'm kind of a sissy when it comes to hot stuff. The reason we use Texas Pete's is because it's a lot lower in sodium than most hot sauces, and there's enough sodium in this meal already. You always want to do everything you can to keep your sodium down as low as you can. So we're just going to take this cubed tofu. We're going to kind of mix it right in with...
And really that's what they make the chicken look like when they make buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah. We're going to mix it in. That's going to be most of our base there. We're going to mix that right in with the sauce. And maybe a little bit more. And a lot of people wouldn't even notice. If you really break this tofu up, it's going to crumble like this. And most people wouldn't even really notice.
Looking pretty realistic.
Right. Most people are not even really going to notice that they're eating something that's so different. So we're going to take all of this. We're just going to scoop it right down onto this. And this is going to be kind of like the sauce together with the chicken, but of course we're using tofu instead of chicken. So we're going to smush this around and just evenly displace it throughout our crust here. And I don't like a lot of sauce on pizza, and neither does anyone really here, so we're just kind of just putting enough of it. You could always add more sauce if you want.
Around.
Yeah. You could always add more sauce if you want. We just really wanted to get it all over the tofu and kind of a layer there. It is pretty spicy. This is not wimpy sauce here. And everybody's taste is different. There may be people who want a lot more sauce. It's just not really our thing. But anyway, so there's that. Now, in addition, we're gonna, I have a couple areas open here. I'm gonna take a little bit of this tofu that's left and just fill them in. Of course, it wouldn't be the same without banana peppers, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody likes banana peppers here. We're gonna throw some banana peppers on this guy. Okay. And these are really good ones, really awesome ones. So we're throwing those around. This is going to be a pretty spicy pizza, but Jack and Miranda really like things spicy. Liz likes things spicy. They'll probably love this. I'm probably going to be going a little, might have a slice of this. I'll probably go more toward the other one, but we'll see. So in addition to that, that's really all we're going to put on this one. We just run it to be like a buffalo chicken pizza. Now, we've talked about this before. We have the...
Follow your heart Parmesan.
Right, follow your heart Parmesan. We like this one a lot. We're just going to do a little kind of a coating.
Doesn't taste fake.
No, it tastes very much like real cheese does.
Anything with drop lacy will pick up.
Melts really good. Yeah. Where's she at? Oh, she's waiting over there. She's like, you guys done it? We're going to go kind of around the outside. Fill it in real good. And this just gives you a good idea. There are many plant-based cheeses out there these days that are much healthier than regular cheese is going to be. They are going to have some saturated fat because they are made from coconut oil, but they are not going to have cholesterol and, of course, no estrogen and all those things. And this is, we got these at Mark's. They're like $2.99, $3.99 a tub. So that one's pretty much done. That's going to be our buffalo chicken pizza. Again, if you want to throw more sauce, you can, and all that stuff. Now we're going to, whoops. Forgot it was still hot for being in there. It actually wasn't bad, so it's a good thing. I'm going to grab my pads here. I'm going to move this one back out of the way a little bit, and we're going to work on this one. Now this one's just going to be a little bit more traditional vegetable pizza. We're going to use a pesto sauce. We've talked about this pesto sauce before. Trader Joe's makes it. It's awesome. It's vegan. There are vegan pestos out there.
It's like a paste almost.
Right, yeah. You don't have to use... Let me get another spoon here.
You don't have to use it, but we feel that it tastes good. So.
Yeah, you don't have to use a vegan one. If you want it to be plant-based, though, you do. And there are many of these out there. We use them for lots of different things. And it's really good. It's got kale, and it's made from cashews and that. So we're going to put this on here. And we're just gonna use, we used a little bit of this morning on some other recipe we were working on. We're just gonna use the rest on this. And it's kale and pesto, basil, and it's made from cashews instead of dairy. And if you haven't tried this, it's awesome too. So we're just gonna kind of spread this around.
It may not look the best, but it tastes the best.
Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic. So we're gonna spread this all around this guy. And again, I'm one of those guys. I worked at a pizza shop. I like that sauce and cheese to go all the way to the end of the crust. I don't really like much of a crust. Maybe like half a centimeter or so. Just so it doesn't spill over. But if you like a crust, of course, you can make more. So that's a pretty good thing. That's almost that whole tub. But again, we did use some of that already. Probably a quarter of it or so. So this is pretty good for a whole pizza. That's a pretty nice thick layer there. Pretty awesome. Now what we're going to do for this one is, of course, we took some low sodium mushrooms and we strained them even more. We love our mushrooms. Now we like putting toppings on before the cheese. The reason is you actually use a lot less cheese because you're only kind of covering up and filling in the blanks there. We love mushrooms. Canned mushrooms are our favorite. You can use fresh if you want. We like a lot, so we put 2 little cans here, and these were no sodium added, so there's really pretty good stuff there. And we're just going to kind of throw those everywhere. In my opinion, the whole thing could just be mushrooms if it were up to me. I love them on a pizza. Mushrooms, very healthy, awesome stuff. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to put a bunch of onion slivers. I don't put a ton of onion. Jack's not a big fan, but we are going to just put a few pieces around here, and that's going to be really good too. Really awesome. Now, maybe a couple more. I know Jack's not a big fan of onion, but there's big enough pieces where if he really doesn't like it, he can avoid them or whatever. Look at that. Looks like a work of art, doesn't it? We're not even done yet. So, then of course, we love our olives. We've got some Trader Joe's olives. We're going to put those all around. So this is going to be a high fiber, high fat pizza.
Can I get one delayed?
But all healthy fats. She's not a fan really of olives.
Really?
Yeah, she's not a big fan. She'll sometimes eat one, sometimes not. She definitely is waiting.
Although she's not picky, but she doesn't like some things.
Right.
There's about 3 things.
She'll eat it eventually.
Yeah, she'll eat it if she's hungry.
She's anxiously waiting, look at her, for something. So we have the mushrooms, we have the olives, we have onions. Now what we did is we found a new product. Instead of using tofu on this one, we found a new product. We've talked about Gardien before. We love them. They have a brand new product. We have never tried this. We saw it there. It's sliced Italian sausage. Now, we've talked about their breakfast sausage. We've talked about their black bean burgers. Lots of products that they have. Really, really amazing stuff. If you're trying to transition from eating meat to eating more plant-based diets, these kind of things are really great to use. The other thing is they're just fun to use once in a while because they're pretty good. Like any processed food, they're going to have some sodium. But, you know, it's non-GMO. It's high in protein. It comes from non-GMO soy for the most part. This was only half a bag. As you can see, it looks very similar to slices. It comes in slices. We cut them in half. So we're just going to kind of put those all over the pizza here, just like we would if it was regular sausage. Again, you don't have to put something like this on. We just never tried this before. We saw it in the store. We were shopping, and we thought we would try it. It is unbelievable how some of their products taste so much like meat. So if you're someone who...
I'm a texture person.
Yeah, and how do you feel about most of their products?
I think that it tastes almost better.
Better than meat?
Yeah,
you've said that before. You've said that about the tofurkey stuff and some of the other things because it's not so chewy, it's not so whatever.
Lots of people
not so fatty.
say that fat is for flavor, but I really don't think so.
Well, there's a lot of flavor in Gardien products. And here's the cool part. If you have high cholesterol or if you have diabetes or if you have high elevated blood pressure or hypertension, these are the kind of products you might want to start to mess around with. Now, they're still going to have a decent amount of sodium. You don't want to eat this kind of thing every day. But again, it's still a better alternative than how they would regularly be made. So look at that. How awesome does that look? So we've got onion, we've got olives, we could probably put some peppers on this one too, but since they're on that one, I'm going to leave them off. I'm going to use the rest of this cheese on this. And again, it's really a pesto pizza. We don't need to put a lot of cheese. We're just going to cut and
around the rims.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why I always put the toppings on first is because then you're just kind of filling in the blanks a little bit. And even if you were to make a real cheese pizza, that's a good thing to do. It's actually a trick we use in the pizza business to use less cheese to make the food cost lower. I learned that when I worked in the pizza place that I worked in. And many people will tell you that.
What place did you work at?
I don't want to say now because yeah, they might be upset that I just said that.
Oh.
But that is a trick that a lot of places use. And I worked there through high school and college. Now, you see that wasn't very much cheese at all, but because we put it on after the toppings, it falls through and it fills in all the sauce and stuff. So how attractive looking as that pizza. So here you go. You've got these two pizzas. They're amazing. They're all completely plant-based. They don't have any cholesterol, hardly any saturated fat at all. Lower sodium than their alternative would have. Lots of fiber. Look out, Lacey, you're going to get burnt. She's up there getting some of the crumbs. Come on, look out. She's just going to stay under there. So these are going to go back in for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we're going to try them out. And you can see how they look afterward. You know, again, this is something that's really fun to do. Do it as a family, cook together as a family. You know, yeah, it can be kind of annoying to cut things up and all that, but this is, if you're going to cook, cook a lot. Sometimes when we make these, we'll even make 4 or 6 of them.
We don't have much to do today, so what
right. So that's the cool part. If we have a day, we can't cut the grass, it's wet, so we're going to make these. We're only going to have a couple slices. We're going to have leftovers for tomorrow and the next day, and, you know, maybe even take them for lunch on Monday or Tuesday. So, in about, we're going to set the timer, about 15, 20 minutes. We'll be back out. We're going to try these babies out. Okay, we waited about 20 minutes. We really wanted to make sure it was nice and crisp. Whew, we got these guys right here. Top. Let's take them out, take a look at them. Oh yeah, look at that. Wowza.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's going to be unbelievable. So this is, as you can see, this is a pretty hearty pizza. This is a very thick pizza, lots of toppings, really awesome, going to be very filling. It's going to absolutely feed everybody, probably lots of leftovers as well. So we're going to cut these guys up. We're going to do a little taste test. So, got a slice of each. What do you think so far, buddy?
Tasty.
It's really quite amazing. I'm amazed at how the crust came out. I really like it. Very crunchy, very crispy on the bottom. The only thing I would have done, instead of cooking, I would have probably cooked about 15 minutes without any toppings at all, then put the toppings on for about 15 to get a little more crispiness, a little more well done. Maybe make it a little thinner. We did make it pretty thick, as you can see here. I mean, it's not super thin crust, but really came out amazing. Both of these are awesome. Look at that slice of pizza right there. Wow. So I am blown away by this. Of course, people can put more sauce, but again, the more sauce you add, the more sodium you're going to add. So I always tell people do like a lighter sauce. I think the tofu, especially if you get an extra firm, most people, it's going to taste just like chicken to them.
I think our buffalo chicken sauce was a good choice.
Yeah, it came out awesome. I am blown away by this. Probably going to eat 2 or 3 slices, maybe 4, because the sun came out. And look at those wonderful spring blossoms out there. We got to do a little grass maybe, so we need our energy. Let's eat a few slices, and then we've got lots left for leftovers. And of course, Liz and Miranda are going to want some when they get home, so they're going to have some. They're going to love this. And of course, Lacey's always interested, right? She's going to try a little bit too, probably. So make sure you hit the bell for notifications, because we're going to keep making videos. We just did one last weekend on a chocolate chia party time parfait. Check that one out if you haven't. We used chia seeds just like we did for this one, right? Instead of an egg replacement to thicken up the pudding, to thicken up the soy milk, we use chia seeds. So same kind of concept. So check those other things out. Check out some of our other videos. Let us know if you like this. Let us know some of your ideas. And I'll put some links in some of the products that we use down in the description as well.
Hit the bell for notifications when we release our next video. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.